You are not broken. You are not disconnected. You are not doing this wrong. What is happening instead is something much simpler and much more precise. You are feeling the relationship between who you really are and where you are standing right now. That feeling is not random. It is guidance. It is information. It is feedback from the part of you that never lost clarity, never lost direction, and never stopped knowing where your life is meant to go. Before you were in this body, you were already energy. Not vague energy, not abstract energy, but focused awareness. You came into this physical experience on purpose, not to lose that awareness, but to expand it. When you arrived here, the larger part of you did not disappear. It did not squeeze itself into your body. It stayed expansive, steady, and clear. You became the physical extension of that larger intelligence. And the relationship between these two parts of you is what you feel every day as emotion. When you feel good, there is no separation between the physical you and the non-physical you. When you feel calm, interested, appreciative, hopeful, or even just neutral, you are close to your own frequency. When you feel frustrated, worried, overwhelmed, or defeated, you are not failing. You are simply feeling the distance between where you are focused and where your deeper knowing remains. The intensity of your emotion tells you how wide that distance is. That is all it is. No judgment, no punishment, just feedback. The part of you that is source never moves toward fear. It never joins you in panic. It never comes down to meet you in despair. Not because you are wrong, but because it is stable. It stays anchored in clarity and well-being. The invitation is always open for you to move toward it. You can meet it where it is. That is alignment. That is allowing. That is what feeling better really means. This is where people often misunderstand the idea of giving up. They think it means quitting. Think it means surrendering desire. They think it means stopping effort. But when you say, I give up universe in the way this teaching points to, what you are really saying is, I stop fighting the current. I stop arguing with where I am. I stop demanding answers from a place that cannot hear them yet. I stop trying to force clarity before I have softened into alignment. Giving up in this sense is not weakness. It is relief. It is letting go of resistance that never helped you in the first place. It is releasing the belief that you have to figure everything out before you are allowed to feel better. It is the moment you stop gripping the wheel and let the direction already set begin to carry you. Every time you encounter contrast, something new is born within you. When you notice what you do not want, you clarify what you do want. That preference is immediate. It is automatic. You cannot stop it. The moment the preference is born, the source part of you becomes it. That desire is answered instantly at the vibrational level. It is done before you ever think about how. It exists as a reality that is waiting for you to line up with it. This is what is meant by vibrational escrow. It is not metaphorical. It is the energetic version of a contract that has already been signed. What you want is not wandering around trying to find you. It is stationary. It is stable. It is ready. The only movement required is yours. You do not chase it. You do not convince it. You simply move into alignment with it. The problem is not that people want too much. The problem is that they try to jump emotionally to places their current frequency cannot support. Someone who feels depressed cannot suddenly feel bliss. Someone who feels powerless cannot instantly feel empowered. That does not mean they are stuck. It means alignment is a progression. You move step by step, emotion by emotion, frequency by frequency. Trying to force joy from despair is like trying to hear a radio station without adjusting the dial. The broadcast is already happening, but you are not tuned to it yet. When you accept that tuning is gradual, you stop attacking yourself for not being there already. You stop calling yourself lazy, broken, or behind. You stop turning the journey into a problem. Think about any physical journey you have ever taken. When you start driving, you do not expect to arrive immediately. You do not berate yourself for not being at the destination 5 minutes into the trip. You know movement takes time, and you trust the process. Yet emotionally, many people do the opposite. They are constantly yelling not there yet at themselves, and then wondering why everything feels stuck. The moment you turn your attention toward what you want even slightly, you feel better. That feeling better is not a reward for progress. It is progress. Movement in the right direction always feels better, even when the destination is still far away. Resistance is the only thing that feels bad. Resistance comes from focusing against where you are instead of with where you are going. This is why hope matters. Hope does not move circumstances. Hope moves alignment. Hope feels better than frustration. Relief feels better than despair. Neutral feels better than defeat. You do not need to leap into excitement. You only need to move one emotional step at a time. When people say just follow your bliss, they miss this nuance. Bliss is not accessible from every emotional state, but the direction of bliss always is. You can aim toward it without demanding to arrive there instantly. You can soften instead of strain. You can choose the next better feeling thought instead of the perfect thought. This is also why the obsession with outcomes creates so much suffering. When you fixate on getting the thing, you lose the very alignment that allows it to come. Not because you are being punished, but because fixation tightens resistance. The joy of life is not in the arrival, it is in the movement. The destination will never be the end anyway. Desire does not stop when something manifests, it expands. You did not come here to finish. You came here to explore. You came here to experience contrast and preference and expansion. You came here to move. The idea that you must arrive somewhere before you are allowed to feel good is the misunderstanding that creates struggle. Control over your life does not come from controlling circumstances. It comes from controlling alignment. When you realize that how you feel determines what you attract, not because the universe is watching you, but because frequency always matches frequency. You stop trying to manipulate the world and start tending to your inner state. The moment you say, I give up universe in the way this teaching means it, you are not saying I stop wanting. You are saying I stop resisting. Stop demanding that things look different before I allow myself to feel better. I stop using my current reality as evidence against my future. I release the argument with now. When you do that, something shifts immediately. It's not in the outer world necessarily, but in you. And that shift is everything. Because the moment alignment returns, the path opens. Ideas appear. Timing lines up. People show up. Momentum builds. Not because you forced it, but because you stopped blocking it. This is why the source part of you never worries about timing. It knows the outcome is secure. It knows the path is unfolding. It knows that the only variable is your willingness to let yourself feel better before the proof arrives. You are not meant to suffer your way into worthiness. You were worthy before you arrived. You are not meant to earn alignment. Alignment is your natural state. Resistance is learned. Struggle is practiced. Letting go is remembering. So when you wake up and say, I give up universe, let it mean this. I give up fighting my feelings. I give up demanding certainty before comfort. I give up the idea that I have to control the how. I give up measuring my life against where I think I should be. I give up resisting the guidance that has been speaking to me through emotion all along. And when you do that, you do not disappear. You do not stop creating. You finally allow creation to work with you instead of against you. You finally meet yourself where you actually are. And from that place, everything you want becomes reachable again.